All right, so we are about to dive deep into a very raw, very long online dispute. I mean, this thing is just fueled by some really emotional moments and some pretty serious accusations. So, in this breakdown, we're going to get into the key claims, the defenses, and the really weirdly public nature of this entire fight, all pulled straight from the original audio. And we're going to start right at the boiling point. Because of all the heavy stuff we're about to get into, it was this moment, bringing a pet into the fight, that really made everything explode publicly. So what does the dog have to do with it? So yeah, let's start right there with the thing that lit the fuse. To really get why this whole feud went so public, so fast, we have to talk about this, well, this unlikely character at the center of it all, a Shiba Inu named X. Okay, so just to make sure we're all on the same page, let's do a quick rundown of the main players here. First up, you've got Meek. She's the main voice you hear, the one making all the claims. Then there's Detroit, he's the guy she's accusing. And of course, there's X, the dog that she says got dragged right into the middle of their personal drama. Now, what's really fascinating here is how she frames this. See, Miss doesn't just see this as an attack on her pet. She actually calls X a clubhouse icon, which suggests the dog has its own kind of public personality on that app. So in her mind, bringing the dog into it was just a super low blow, a sign that a major line had been crossed. And for her, that was it. That was the last straw. So, with that in mind, let's get into the real core of this fight. The long list of very, very serious allegations that Ms. starts leveling against Detroit. And look, the claims she makes are severe and they cover a lot of ground. We're talking about everything from physical violence, she specifically mentions a rib kick that she says he admitted to, all the way to serious legal trouble, like an alleged felony for cocaine possession. On top of all that, she paints this picture of an extreme gaming addiction and a pattern of just constant lying. And just to really hammer home that gaming addiction claim, she throws this number out there. She alleges that Detroit would sit there and play Grand Theft Auto for more than 20 hours straight, at a time. And if you need a visual for just how extreme that is, well, she provides a pretty shocking and graphic one. She claims he was so deep into the game, so unwilling to even press pause, that he would urinate in a bottle right there in the room. I mean, it's a detail that's clearly meant to paint a very vivid picture of obsession. And this is where we get to a really big theme in this whole thing: what's true and what's not. According to Miss, Detroit tried to play down a past drug chart, telling people it was just a simple misdemeanor. Her response? No way. She claims it was actually a felony for cocaine possession, which is, a much more serious deal. She then tries to back up her side of the story with this bit of context. She explains that when it all went down, she was the one behind the wheel. But she says she was never charged with anything, and that's because the drugs were found directly on him. In her telling of it, that's pretty much case closed. It proves it was all his. Okay, so we've heard the allegations, but this is definitely a battle with two sides. So now let's flip it and look at how Miss Kane defends her own story, using what she calls receipts to fight back against anyone saying she's lying or just making it all up. Her entire defense really is built on these receipts. Her whole argument is that this isn't some new fight she just cooked up for drama. She claims she has text messages going back months, all the way to February and March, that show her raising these same concerns. For her, this is the ultimate proof that she's not just inventing a story now. She's just finally revealing a problem that's been going on for a long time. And wow, this quote right here, it just perfectly sums up her whole defiant attitude. She's basically throwing down a challenge to everyone listening, to all her critics, asking them to point to one thing she did that was so out of line. She's essentially arguing that whatever she's done, it doesn't deserve the level of hate she's getting. So if you really look at how she defends herself, it kind of breaks down into three main moves. First, she just flat out denies everything. Denies she's lying, denies she's doing it for attention. Second, she deflects. She turns it around and accuses her critics of doing way worse things. And finally, she'll diminish some of the incidents, like a fight over a TV remote, and try to reframe it as just a silly joke that everyone else is blowing out of proportion. Okay, and this leads us to maybe the most crucial part of this whole situation. You have to remember, this conflict isn't happening behind closed doors. It's a performance, and it's being staged for a live online audience that is very much a part of the show. And right here, Miss turns her attention directly to that audience. She straight up accuses them of having an unhealthy, obsessive interest in her life.
She's questioning why people would spend so much time and energy picking apart her personal drama, basically turning the microscope back on her own critics.
So when you boil it all down, what we're really watching is the line between a private life and public entertainment just completely dissolving. This isn't just a fight, it's content. It's a drama playing out in real time where the audience isn't just watching. No, they're active participants. They're taking sides, they're adding their own commentary, and they're definitely fueling the fire. And this whole saga leaves us with this really big, kind of uncomfortable question, right? When someone's personal crisis is broadcast for the world to see, where do we, the audience, draw the line? At what point does trying to hold someone accountable just turn into consuming their trauma as entertainment? Honestly, that's the question at the very heart of so much of the drama we see online today.